Democracy, the primary objective throughout American history. A government that provides for the needs of its own people, and the people are masters of their own government. We want to live in a society where all people are free to pursue their own dreams and express their own thoughts. What's more, we need democracy. We need to know that we are safe in our society and protected from the dangers and evils of the world. We must feel a sense of belonging. We need to trust that we cannot be discriminated from our community because of our looks, culture, gender, beliefs, or personal identity. We need equality and the equal share of rights and power. That is democracy. Now, having said all this, there have been many times when America's actions have looked very undemocratic. One of these times was during the Cold War of the early 50s and the Red Scare of McCarthyism. In the aftermath of World War II, the new threat of destruction introduced through the bombing of Hiroshima led the USSR and the US to start building more and more powerful bombs. This conflict would be known as the Cold War. The Soviets tested their first bomb in 1949. This created a Red Scare panic across America and hysterical anti-communism. This environment would be perfect for the House of Un-American Activities Committee, HUAC, and Joseph McCarthy himself. HUAC worked to eliminate communist behaviors at home. This meant interrogating Americans on whether or not they were communist. They focused primarily on interrogating famous Hollywood actors and writers, since people working for the media had the most powerful influence on the public. When members of the movie business refused to answer some of the questions, they had to find new places outside of the country to write. They had to find new jobs and create new pen names that they could write under. As a result, actions of HUAC led to the decrease in employment in the entertainment industry. In 1950, Republican Senator Joseph McCarthy held up a slip of paper and claimed that on it were the names of 205 State Department members working for the Communist Party. A Senate subcommittee investigation found no evidence of communist behaviors claimed by McCarthy, but he continued to claim many left-wing politicians as working for the Communist Party. In addition, McCarthy suspected communist sympathy from some of the most popular entertainers of the day, including Lucille Ball, Orson Welles, Orson Bean, even Charlie Chaplin. The accused people in the entertainment biz were brought to trial in front of McCarthy and asked unreasonable questions, like this one.
Have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
Many of those in the trials refused to answer the questions because they believed that they were being deprived of their civil rights. Indeed, McCarthy had no evidence to support his claims. Unfortunately, over 2,000 government officials lost their jobs due to McCarthy's investigations. In 1954, McCarthy became increasingly more vulnerable to government employees who were unhappy about his methods of attacking communism. All was lost when Army McCarthy was broadcasted on national television. When McCarthy attacked a young army lawyer and the chief counsel cried, "Have you no sense of decency, sir?" The American public saw McCarthy as a menace with no sense of civil liberties. McCarthy was voted to be condemned by the Senate. McCarthy remained senator until his death in 1957 at 48 years old, but had lost all of his support. So, were the actions of Senator Joseph McCarthy democratic? No. In a democracy, people are free to express their own thoughts and stand for their own beliefs. People who Joseph McCarthy interviewed had to refuse being part of an ideology that McCarthy did not believe in. In a democracy, you have a right to a fair trial. The accusations given by Senator Joseph McCarthy had no evidence behind them. In a democracy, you are not forced to speak if you do not want to in an interrogation. In McCarthy's interviews, many of those who remained silent lost their jobs. In a democracy, people are not discriminated from the community because of their beliefs. McCarthy tried to fight for democracy by trying to abolish communism in ways that were paradoxically, undemocratic. What's more, in a democracy, you have the right to trust government officials. Joseph McCarthy spread anti-communist propaganda and lies, and that is why many people today consider the actions of Senator Joseph McCarthy to be undemocratic.